Start. 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 Oh, I didn't do this yet. No. Next. Boom, boom. Submit. Let's try Rumble again. Start. All right. We should be live. Let me check in. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Let's go to the channels. Twitch. Welcome to the stream. Facebook. I got to hit that go live button, and the video is starting. Let's check in on Kick. Welcome, Kick. YouTube. Welcome to the stream. YouTube, we're live. Kick, we're live. Facebook, we're live. And Rumble, I believe we are live. Hard to tell, but I'm hoping we are. All right. Welcome back to the Sam Crescent Art Show. I am Sam Crescent, a veteran of the industry with over 100 million, kabillion, jillion, septillion years of experience. I have worked on absolutely nothing of any significance whatsoever and created nothing of any significance. However, I am still super important because I said so, and I'm on the internet. All right, let's get this thing started. We are going to be working to warm up with Bridgman studies of these fists. This is from Bridgman's Book of 100 Hands, page 109. If you want to give it a try yourself, I got to take off the jacket for this and warm up the old hands here. All right, that's enough of the weird stuff. Let me see here. I gotta tilt this up a little bit. My screen's kind of needs to be tightened up. All right. Let's get it going, rocking and rolling. I gotta just get warmed up here, and so we'll start by just kind of dropping in these shapes here of whatever I'm looking at. This hand. I'm seeing something like that. I'm just gonna start with just getting the shapes. I'm gonna go back even more basic here. This one angles more this way. So it is, as of this recording today, it's August 11th. August 11th, 2026. August is one of those months that it's never been my favorite month. And I think because it's the month that kind of summer is coming to an end, and it makes me sad. Like, I love July. July is probably my favorite month. One of my favorite months of the year, because it's like just mid freaking summer, full-fledged summer activity. I am a huge fan of summer. Summer is one of my favorite seasons of the year. One of my favorite times, man, ever since I was a kid, summer was the best. It's still the best. But we're now in a situation where the summer is going to soon be at a close, and we will begin the fall season. Now, I'm mixed as far as the fall season goes. I enjoy the holidays. However, as an adult, they've become less enjoyable, and there's other adults in my life that I feel like have kind of destroyed my enjoyment of those holidays. Because of how much they complain about them. So, I don't know. I'm just gonna focus right now on the overall form of these fists. See if that kind of simplifying it. See if that kind of helps me with my ability to draw these fists in hands in various positions like this from my imagination, from memory, in an improved manner. So this one's not going to be so much about just trying to copy Bridgman, trying to recreate Bridgman, but trying to kind of see what I can extrapolate from this when it comes to making my own original. I'm doing a drawing. It calls for a character's fist or hand or something to be done. And can we do it? What can I come up with out of my mind, out of my imagination? That's kind of where I like to go with this stuff. I'm not a huge fan of getting too much with the primitive forms. So the primitive forms would be like the square, the circle, the rectangle, the triangle, stuff like that. I do better when I just get into the organics right away. And the more I kind of dabble in the primitives and trying to make blocky, structures and simplify things too much into like a circle or a square, I just, the drawings tend to get stiff. They tend not to work for me as well. So I try to avoid that in some ways, but it's still necessary. Still necessary to have the ability to kind of do that when it comes to moving things around, changing angles and perspectives and such. So there I blocked in those fists right there. That's pretty good construction for what I want to do. Now I can onion skin this there, so I can kind of see what I did. And just kind of like, if I was going to make some sort of primitive form of this, this is actually the side plane right here, and this here was actually the kind of the top plane. So my primitive shape would probably be something along these lines here, this being shaded down. And this is actually kind of a wrapping form there, and same with that. So if we took this shape and let's say we wanted to put it tilted this way. So I'm going to put this shape in a box here, 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 here. Now I'm going to make a new box this way. And it's just like a mental exercise for doing stuff. So we know this one intersects there, and we've got a line there. We've got a line about there. So that one comes there and there. This shape is way off. What am I doing? I would probably look at it more like this here. Do something like this. I just want to move this shape. Let me see what I can do here. All right, so we've got a three-dimensional box there. we've got a side plane that comes here, 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 under. It's literally just kind of like this, what I see this as. Wrapping forms. And then the wrist comes out of there, so it would come out of here. And it'd be a tube coming out like that. And then let's do one more angle. Maybe go this way more. So just turn it a little bit. All right, so now new layer, onion skin that one. And let's impose the drawing onto this and see what we come up with here. So there's a wedge in there. Knuckle there. Palmaris longus tendons right there. Kind of I've seen that as kind of the bottom of the fingers there. And the knuckles coming around there. It's kind of that's the hand shape there. So from this point of view, you know, we've got a knuckle here. Kind of the thumbs there, and we've got this meat section here kind of looking in that way. Can't see the palmaris longus tendon. See the back of the fist here. And I don't know where this goes, man. I'm very confused. I'm gonna put this here like that. Something like that. Take a look at this one. This will be easier because I'm just barely rotating it. So let's redo that because there's this diamond shaped here. And that. Hook that in. It's kind of easier to do it this way because I'm not changing the angle so dramatically. That's kind of more of the fist there. Let's work on this one. This one's not as well considered, I feel like, as like that one. When we look up here, it's like there's a box shape like that comes in. And I'm gonna look at that. Oh, it's just a mass right there. Nope. I don't really agree with this hand at all. I feel like the knuckle of the thumb is going to be more out here. I mean, it looks like he put this thumb on upside down. Like, literally, it's not going to do that. I don't know what the hell that is, but that's wrong. So let's fix it. And go like this. You know? Let's make a new layer. Let's redo it. So this thumb should go this way. The nail would be on this side. The pad would be here. Hook in there. Comes down and around. We can get that. We can get this. I don't like that there. Even then, I feel like the thumb's too low, and then it would be up higher. So I'll do it one more time. That's kind of better right there. That's a better hand than that one. Do this last one more time. This one's got the most dynamic pose of these. Something like that. Let's see what happens here. I like how he grouped these two fingers together kind of as one big mass and then just kind of indicated the separation a little bit. Palm of the hand, back of the hand. And he's got the elevated finger right there. And then he put this all in shadow to push it back behind the form in the front. That'd be a hard one to rotate. But if I did do it, it would be something like this. Not like that to turn it down. That's about that's what my interpretation of that hand is, kind of turned towards us. Is it perfect? No. But it gets the idea across. All right, let's go to the next page of Bridgman's book. Let's see what we got here. All right, let me look at this. See what we're looking at here. Okay, so we're looking at more of the thumb and the structure of it. We'll work on this one, and then we've got to move on. And this is like more of the muscles and the overlocking. There's a lot of good stuff in this illustration. Let's get the whole big gesture of it down first here. Just some kind of organic shape that tells me where it's going. And then this is so important, this muscle. It feels like that's what it's all about. So I'm gonna get that locked in right away. So we got that there, and we have this kind of like the bone in the two tendons, palmaris, pollicis longus, and brevis, and I forget it's abductor or abductor. I don't remember, man. I'll have to go over that again and just figure out how I can finally get that committed to memory, those names. The abductor, pollicis longus, and brevis, something like that. Not to move this here. And there's so many things happening in this drawing actually that are worth really looking at. All right, so let's look at this kind of what we're looking at. I got the whole trajectory kind of in. So this part here is, it's a really big form, and I believe this is the interosseous muscle that's here in the top of the hand between the, basically the thumb. It's a big muscle that moves the thumb, and we have the tendon here. And these tendons are important to know, like if you're drawing something that needs to show tension, you know, a character grasping or making a fist or doing something, and you want to indicate a lot of tension, and you know where these tendons go, that's going to kind of help you indicate that and communicate that, you know, in an effective manner. That's not right. This comes out and it's still wrong. Let's try it down here. We got this hooking angle. And so there we go. So we got this whole, this form is in, you know, and he's got some contour lines going around it. This is the bone, and this is the tendon. It runs up that bone there. He's got another one here, and I don't know this one. And he's getting into the belly of the muscle. Okay, so now this is cool, because if you look at this here, this is like a shape that he made there, and that goes into it. This one is wedging out here. It's like a ramp that down and plugs in. He wanted this. He wanted this with kind of a gray over it. And now we get these pieces here running across there. And he hooks that there. And there's like a rhythmic relationship here between that and this one. And then we've got this knuckle, dark. And he hooks that right there too. It's got a little bit of rendering there showing that's that plane. This is a plane. I'm not too far off, because we've got this angle, hook, fold, a wedge. A wedge. That's kind of what he drew. Mostly got it in there. But there's a lot of cool things going on. This here, it's like a ramp. And then this ramp plugs in here, and we have the tendon coming down that way. You know, this is like you've got a plane this way, and then this one pops out of it, hooks up like that. And that's an interesting form right there. And look at that. And then this is the biggest kind of shape on the whole thing, is this muscle that comes in. It's like an amoebic type of a... It's got a rhythm to it. So, I mean, this is kind of what I like to do when I'm studying. Just break this stuff down. All right, that's going to do it for that. Let's save this up. we've got to move on to animating the cartoon. So Bridgman's Book of 100 Hands, we made it to page 110. I've drawn every page up to 110 now, and kind of try to dissect things as much as possible. And every day we'll keep doing it till we finish the book. Now let's grab what we're working on, which is this, and this is the scene I'm working on. So yesterday I did this scene here, and I just set these characters up, added, you know, all kinds of things to them, the blink, all kinds of stuff. So I don't need to reiterate that. This was the day before. Put together this whole scene. I gotta still put the background on this one. I'll do it later. We're gonna work on this one. This background is gonna be gone. We'll scrap it for the most part. And we're gonna just turn all this stuff off here. And we're gonna work right here. Okay, so we've got rocking arm. Let's expand the canvas. So width, we're gonna go, let's just double it to 20 inches. Okay, that's gonna give us more room here. Now we've got to check the anti-aliasing and make sure there's none. This is a smart layer. Let's rasterize it. So I want to just work right inside this document. I'm gonna alpha lock this, select the black, hit the brush, make sure we're on a hard brush, and when you alpha lock something, it only will draw on where there's pixels. So any place where there's not pixels, it won't draw. And so I'm just going to go around the edge and make sure that any of the white anti-aliasing has been removed, so that we've got a clean, crisp cutout of what we're going to be creating, which is we're creating rigs, we're creating character rigs, we're creating puppets that can be manipulated and moved inside our animation software to bring this comic book panel into like a motion comic, to a cartoon, to a, you know, something that is akin to a cartoon. And I'm turning all my comic books into cartoons, and they're going to be pretty sick. So that's what I'm doing. So we got that. Okay. So that's done. Turn this off. Now what we need to do is I'm going to separate this forearm off of this lower arm. Now this is a great arm. This was drawn by Mike Witherby and inked and colored by me. Mike Witherby's passed away. He was a veteran of Marvel Comics, of Valiant Comics. He's worked on everything back in the 90s, man. He was a real deal. I'm gonna have to kind of take it there. Now let me see here. We'll just pull it up there. Okay, so that's where we're gonna cut this off at. Unlock that. And J. Let's take a look and see what we got. I think that's great. So we'll select this, invert, and I'm gonna delete this off, so that, and then it's gonna leave some fragments here whenever you do it that way. So just make sure you circle it out, give it another delete. All right, so now we've got this arm separated from that one, and we're gonna extend this arm, this lower arm, so that it sits behind here. So I'm gonna grab this here, brush, and we're gonna draw now. So we have the biceps muscle. We're gonna draw and finish pulling that in. Let's see. This is not black. That's a shade of black, and this would be the coracobrachialis muscle, I believe. There and there. Okay, triceps comes in. Let's see what we're dealing with here, actually. So I'm gonna just pull this in about there, and I just want to wrap it up somewhere around there. So that gives me an idea kind of what where we're going. Okay, so now we'll extend this out, and then let's make the brush a little smaller. Okay, so we brought those lines down now. Wow, that was a wonky ass line. Whoa, I made the brush bigger. Now I'm struggling. Okay, there we go. Now let's go a little smaller because we have some angling here, and there we go. Throw that in. All right, so now it looks like we just have like a continuous form. What we want to do now is just color this. So, hit this color. I'm just going to try and follow what I was doing here. I'm not sure. Yet how I'm going to resolve it all, but give me an idea about it. I think go underneath here, and let's just put a flat color underneath this whole thing right out the gate. Now it's a little bit easier to work with. Okay, now we'll continue this. There's some gradation on this, so it's not going to match up one for one perfectly, but we can smooth it together as we go. I'm just going to ignore that, whatever that is. Well, I think that's from the overlap of the other muscle, and we're going to take that out of it completely. So that'll be it for there. There. So it looks weird, but when we put the other muscle on top, it's going to be just fine. Okay, so now let's work down here. But I saw these guys almost come to blows at this McDonald's parking lot the other day. It's pretty weird. It's like, what's happening in the world? From what I could assess is the people got their coffee, okay? They were served a coffee and there's a lady behind them, and then they pulled up into the reserved parking for, like if you're waiting for your order. And they parked there to drink their coffee, and they were drinking their coffee there, and then the person behind them felt like they didn't have enough room to get out. Like they just got their order. And I don't know if they were pulled up. Maybe they should have been pulled up a little more in the reserve parking. It did look like they were kind of blocking it. And so the person honked at them. So then they moved their car. And as they moved the car, the guy rolled his window down and is flipping the person off, yelling at him. like he's really offended that he got honked at parking there. And they moved to another reserve parking spot. And then as that car pulled out, both the man and woman in the car who got their coffees get out of their car, and they start flipping off the other car and running and like charging towards it, like they're going to do something, like they're going to attack the car or something. And a lady just like drove. It was another lady. It was a lady that was in that car, from what I could tell. Just even more weird that they want to threaten a woman. I am a little bit old fashioned like that, like come on, guys. And but there was a woman threatening the woman as well. It was like a man and woman flipping off this woman driver because she honked at them to move. And I kind of thought, well, what is she supposed to do? Like get out and politely ask you to pull up? Like what do they want? And then these guys, they sit in this in the McDonald's reserve parking for order spot, and they finish their coffees there even after this person's left. And then they open their door and they dump all their trash out in the parking lot, like just littered the whole thing, which is It's like, wow, that's pretty bad. And then they drove away. But I'm like, man, what is happening, man? McDonald's is like, it's flipping expensive now, dude. Like, so it's crazy. It's like I don't know how you could if you know, could you be like, well, maybe these people are from the hood or something. They're no, that's just a stereotype, man. Because if you're short on funds, McDonald's is not a good place to go anymore. It's really gotten to be high priced because of well, in California, there's a lot of reasons why. But all over the country, there's been a massive amount of inflation. But in California specifically, too, there's a higher minimum wage you have to pay to fast food employees. So the cost of the labor is more as well at like a McDonald's. So it's McDonald's is like you're balling if you go to McDonald's, man. I think this will work. Well, I know what I want to do here is we'll take this one around and bring it down. And then we'll just blend this up. It'll be pretty simple. With a soft brush. Take that there. Connect this up here. Because all we're doing is just trying to make something here that's going to sit under. I see what Witherby did. That's not the coracobrachialis. So that's like the striation in the middle of the bicep. That's kind of cool. You know, so now if you articulate this thing or do something with it, you have some room to work. So that's it. So this is going to be here. I'm going to actually undo that. All right, so I just want to make sure that I don't. What just happened? What's that from? Okay, so we want to merge these together, and that's rocking upper arm. And this is rocking lower arm. And that one's fine. We don't need to do anything on that. So name this. Let's start a rocking folder. And as I complete his assets, we'll drop them in there. Now we're not actually done. Let's finish out this arm so we have some more play. So I shouldn't have named it all up yet, but we're gonna go here and we want to bring this maybe around here. Something like that. Bring this one up in there. And that's just to give us some more room to, some more play for the scene. Come on, man. What the heck, dude? Well, that takes care of that. There. Look, I didn't close it soft enough. well. All right. Pull that through. Something like that's good. Now he'll have a full shoulder. And we'll make him have a full head and stuff too, but that's pretty good right there. So, go like this, punch this up. Let's just drop a color in. All right, that's good. Put another layer here. I'm going to go with that airbrush. Try and just get this done quickly. 50%. That works. All right, that's pretty cool. We'll take it. All right, so got that dropped in pretty quick. Let's save that up. Okay, so now we're gonna do the head and everything. So let's rasterize this here. And this one is great. I mean, Witherby just knocked this out of the park when he did this panel. I really like it. What we're gonna have to do is put his bolt on its own layer, and it should just be connected to his shoulder. Separate the head, separate the neck. We can have some more movement, more flexibility with the character, with the puppet. Oh man, this is gonna be a lot of work. I don't know if I'm gonna finish this today. I'm gonna finish rocking today for sure. Oh, I gotta power up. All right, so let's get this bolt on its own layer to start. All of this needs to get taken off. Turn this off. Now let's just use our select tool, and let's just pick up this this stuff. And oops, hard eraser. All right, there we go. Okay, so now this we don't need. Put it on its own layer. You know what I forgot to do is open up the chat, so I don't know if anybody's been talking to me. Let's see here. I got the multi-chat. I'm gonna open up that. Okay. Oh, I got the multi-chat open now, so if somebody tries to talk to me, I'll be able to hear them. All right, let's. Where are we with this thing? Okay, we got a swirl. All right, so let's extend this bolt up. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move this thing too. It's in the wrong spot. That's it. Let's go here. Should have that on there. Now we just need to do a little bit of rendering. So there. And there. And we've got this sort of green color that we'll use the brush tool. I'm gonna put it there. So what I'm gonna do is just go over the top of this. No. No. That's pretty much it right there. Let's make sure all the fragments are gone. Check it against this and no. All right, that's gonna work. Go here. Okay, so we got that all fixed. Okay, so that's the bolt. There's the head. Let's select this. Get rid of that. And then the new location, this is the bolt. Tesla. I'll just call it the Tesla coil. After Nikolai Tesla, not the car. Not the car company. Let's put that right there. That looks good. All right, now we're going to do his head. Let's drop that in the rocking pack. And we're going to work on the head now. So again, we're going to go back to drawing first. And let's just draw in everything that's missing. So we've got kind of like a part of the ear here. We can get here. The concha. The helix crus. That's all the names of the different anatomies of the ear. That works. Let's get this skull now. Let's do that. Let's put on the arms and stuff and see. Yeah, that's gonna work. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is let's go underneath and just drop in something. Some kind of a flat color. And that should be behind the head. All right, now I'm going to draw in front of the head. We're just going to let's go underneath the line art, and we'll just start painting in the missing components. This is going to be the trapezius coming down, and underneath here is going to be a little bit shadier. But what we'll do is blend this up with a soft brush. Once I've blocked in all the big color masses. That's pretty much going to work. Let me see what we're dealing with here. I think I can go under that. Hit it with this color. Too dark. All right, now let's blend it up a little bit. So go on top of this. Hit the soft brush. 50%. Just kind of soften some of those edges.
Sahamandal 8925 says yo what's up.
How's it going, Soham? Or Sohum. Sorry, dude. Sohum, dude. How's it going, my man? Just back on the grind today. Getting another page rig set up for the animation rig.
Sahamandal 8925 says all good, what about you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Doing good, my friend. So I just built out. What happened there? That was what I had. So I just colored in all this stuff. So we've got this head here now fully realized. Couple more things I gotta fix on it. Oops. Let's see. We've got
Sahamandal 8925 says you, that's mad cool.
thanks. What I gotta do here is just get rid of that stuff. So this should just about be ready to animate. Just trying to finish this main character today. All right, that's done. Now I've got to pull the head and separate it from the neck. I'll turn on the rest of them.
Sahamandal 8925 says also I have finally almost completed the order.
You've almost completed the order. What's the order that you've almost completed?
Sahamandal 8925 says thank you.
Oh, good. I'm glad. You've almost completed the order. So somebody put an order in for you to draw that thing, and you've almost completed it. Is that what you're saying?
Sahamandal 8925 says of the story that you drew me the spineless Birdman for.
Oh, cool, man. Well, I'm glad you almost got that completed now. That's pretty neat. All right, let's draw. All right, so now we got that ready. Let's make sure there's no anti-alias issues. Of course there is. I don't know. That probably shouldn't be there, so I'll fix it. So now that you got the spineless Birdman story almost completed, what are you going to do next? Ugh. Why? All right, that's good. Okay, now I just got to extend this neck a little bit so that it plugs and plays with the head. Something like that. And that's just going to have to go there. All right, so that's where we're going. All right. Hopefully this is going to be the end of this part. I'm going to make it a little darker there. I'm not sure. I mean, it's only going to move like that much, probably. I think it's okay. I think what will look better is if I know what I'm going to do. This is part of the neck, so it's got to stay under the character. I'm confused about what's going on here. All right, what is this? Okay, that's the bolt. That's his head. That's that. This piece goes there. Okay, this is all one piece. This goes on top of that. And this needs to be able to articulate around here somewhere. Okay, and so we just got to extend that dark area there. Let's fix that one. Just don't like the way that looks. I know why. It should be like this. Yeah, that'll be better. All right, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's looking pretty good. Okay, turn that off. Let's go here. Back to just pick and shovel again. Pick and shovel, pick and shovel. Shovel and pick it. There we go. That's nothing. That's a neck. Let's label this up. Neck. We throw this on. Oh, we got to extend that neck down a little bit here too. Just for safekeeping there. That's better. All right, that's better. Next we need is we need a blink for rocking here. Do the coil in a minute. That's so I know what it is. So let's see here. That'll do it. All right, let's see how that one works. I'll take it. It's good enough. Got the blink. We got the Tesla coils. No, we need to do the bolts now. Let's get these bolts going. All right, so we do that. All right, got that on there. I don't know what I'm doing. I should have done it this way. Let's do it this way. All right, almost there with this one. Not been too easy to get through these. I'm feeling the burn. Bolt 2. I should do it. Okay, so you got some bolts, neck, everything. Rocking is done. I do need to check his neck actually for anti-aliasing. You have a little bit. Not anymore. All right, let's put that all in the rocking folder. That part's ready for now. Okay, we got this arm here. That arm, what the hell? Okay, this is going to be... That's not what that's supposed to do. This is weird, man. I want to fix all that. What the freak? All right. Well, let's start with one thing at a time. This arm. And it looks just fine. Let's just extend it a little bit. I don't know what the hell all that stuff is. Oh, I see. There's a hand over there. That's fine. I'll do that later. Now though, we'll extend this here. We'll extend that there. No. Those are whack. All right, let's see what we can do with this here. $12:24 already. I'm gonna have to wrap up soon. Because I have other work I've got to get done today. But I don't want to. I want to get this further along. Now we got a big old forearm there. We'll just drop this bad boy in. Yeah, that works. There we go. That there, that's good enough. Okay, that works. So we've got the yeah. Now what I want to do actually is just I want to lock Rocking's arm with Jed's arm there. I want to stick that in there because that's supposed to be in front of Rocking anyway. That's done, and now this arm here. Let's turn off all this stuff, and let's take this arm and go. Rasterize.
Jackie PL02 says hi, dude.
Hey, how's it going? All right, so
Jackie PL02 says, I made my own painting app, wanna try it out.
what's your app do? Tell me about it. What the heck? All right, let's extend this first. So we'll just draw it again. Wrong brush. Let's do, actually, let's try this.
Jackie PL02 says, it's similar to Photoshop, but way more advanced, with animations, 3D, vector layers, and movie editing, more brush options, real-life color mixing, and integrated with my own publishing website.
Sounds pretty cool. Where do I go if I want to check it out?
Jackie PL02 says it is not published yet, but I will publish it in few days. On howtodraw.pl it is.
This. All right. Let's see here.
Jackie PL02 says, I am building it for 6 years. I just wanted to make my own comic and sell, so I made my own publishing website with monetization for digital art, and then I made painting app because why not?
That's pretty awesome. So you've been working on this app for 6 years. You make your own comic, and so you made your own website to publish your comic with for monetization. Then you made your own painting app, so that you have like all your own infrastructure, your whole entire own ecosystem that you control and own.
Jackie PL02 says, yeah, this website is pretty much as big as Facebook.
It's as big as Facebook. So you got like a ton of users on there and stuff then? It's like, is it like a bunch of web comic fans or something like that? What's the name of this website again? It's called, I think you told me the name of it already, but I forgot. Moonlight.
Jackie PL02 says not yet XD, but I hope it will be.
Oh, so you're okay.
Jackie PL02 says howtodraw.pl.
Oh, howtodraw.pl. I'll go look at it right now. Let me see here. How to pulling it up. It's not sure what's going on yet.
Jackie PL02 says you can beta test it, still searching for bugs.
All right, so is this it right here? This is your website?
Jackie PL02 says yes.
Okay, cool. So you got so your idea is gonna be like a crowd, like it's gonna be like a social media website for comics and stuff. So is this your comic right here? And then let's get this out.
Jackie PL02 says hope so. Every comic has fan page for community building.
Yeah, but this right here that I'm looking at, is this the comic you did? Or is this something else?
Jackie PL02 says not just a test.
Okay, so this is a test. Oh, I like that it's like a scroller, so you like be able to scroll the comic. That's pretty cool. And then, and so that's a test. So like if you made a profile on here, you could put your comic like
Jackie
that.
PL02 says you can choose the reader format.
And choose the reader format. Okay, so up here. No, that's not it. Let me see. What's cinema? That's you can put videos on here. Enemy library. So this is like where you'd put like if you made a cartoon or something.
Jackie PL02 says you can make studio and make your own movies, own anime.
Ah, okay, that's pretty neat. Well, you've been working a lot to build all this. What is this? My projects. Okay, so that's like if I have an account, then my stuff would go there. Gallery. You put your gallery. What's pen battles?
Jackie PL02 says Grid Art Pro you may like for proportions.
Grid Art Pro. You may like. Okay. Oh, we looked at that. Discover. Well, that's a neat project you got there.
Jackie PL02 says battles for money.
Battles for. Oh, I see. That's pretty cool. That's a neat project you built there. I dig it, man. I'm gonna bookmark that, so I can check it out more later.
Jackie PL02 says certificates you may like.
What do you mean certificates you may like? What's that? It just looks so whack ass, man.
Jackie PL02 says if you certificate your image, if someone ever stole it and you'll find your work on Pinterest or somewhere, everyone can verify image for who is the author or owner.
Well, that's pretty cool. So it's like you have a way to protect your work and stuff. Yeah, it sounds like you thought of everything.
Jackie PL02 says yes.
Sounds like you thought of everything. That's a pretty rad project you've got there. I'm gonna go over the top of this thing and just try to fix it better because this looks really weird.
As artist you can choose music background for your comics or books. You can even make animated comics, motion comics.
That's pretty sick. So did you finish your comic? You're going to put it on there pretty soon? Or are you still building out the website?
Jackie PL02 says so you will have the possibility to make own games inside studio with possibility to make sprites inside.
So you're working on a video game too then? Man,
Jackie PL02 says, yup.
well, you got everything going on then. You've got a website, a drawing app, animation apps, monetization stuff, uh, music you can listen to. It sounds like you've built like a really amazing thing, especially once it's all finished. Hopefully, it becomes like really really popular. I think it will. There's nothing like
Jackie
it.
PL02 says, I'm attacking Adobe from every theory and Mac and ecosystem like Apple.
Yeah, that's cool. I've been using Clip Studio Paint more. I'm using Adobe right now, but I'm trying to get out of it by the end of the summer. I don't want to be in Adobe anymore because it's just a ripoff now, and I'm sick of it.
Jackie PL02 says, I couldn't handle Clip Studio Paint because brush system is for me not intuitive, so I made something simpler like Photoshop but more robust like CSP.
Yeah, it took me a while to figure out the brushes in Clip Studio. I know what you mean. So that's cool. So you've got everything then. You've got brushes that work more like they're like Photoshop, but you're taking the best parts of Clip Studio Paint, integrating it in there. I think I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Jackie PL02 says you have even vector layers so you can change stroke brush after painting.
Nice. All right, maybe that'll be it.
Jackie PL02 says an timeline I took from the best software ever made, The Flash, now called Animate CC.
So you built your animation software like Flash, who used to make Flash, man? I remember Flash from way back in the day. Gotta fix that. I gotta do that guy. What is this? Oh, this is the old one that I did that I decided I did not like. Let's get rid of this. All right.
Jackie
I'm gonna do this.
PL02 says yup, it was very easy, but with animation like in Moho 2 it's pretty big.
Yeah, that's what I've been using mostly is Moho. I've been doing the character rigs and stuff like for my comic, breaking them
Jackie
apart.
PL02 says, I like your colors, I have trouble with rendering.
Thanks. Yeah, what I've been doing is breaking all this stuff apart in Clip Studio Paint or Photoshop or whatever, and then using Moho to like build the rigs, rig the drawings and do the animatics and stuff. And so I'm just working on. I had somebody help me with this one, but they kind of messed up a lot of stuff, so I'm just kind of fixing and doing it right. Yeah, heck. Actually, I'm gonna put this more here.
Jackie PL02 says now you can do everything inside, you have even visual nodes for making procedural graphics and automations.
Yeah, it sounds like once your thing's done, you won't need anything else then. You'll have everything right there. Just killer.
Jackie PL02 says that's the point. D thanks.
Yeah, I like that. That's gotta that's gotta been a ton of work then. 6 years is a long time, but it'll be well worth it once you have it all finished. Whoops. Guess I didn't have that blocked off all the way.
Jackie PL02 says, by the way, it has even collaborations. You can invite someone inside chat on publishing website for team painting on one canvas, up to 64 people with live chat on microphone.
Wow, so this could be like, you could totally, studio could like totally adapt this then and use it for like a full-blown production. I think that's far enough for there. Let's see here. Yeah, if I extend that guy to there, that's plenty.
Jackie PL02 says, yes, it have even built-in streaming module. You gonna like it.
Yeah, I've started been streaming a lot, so I'm definitely gonna like it, and I'll definitely use it, stream on it, and see what else I can do on there. Just let me know when it's ready. Or it looks like people can make they can make a profile on there right now. Then you got set up so it can beta test it right now and start kind of doing some of the stuff. Actually, what's going to be going on here is there'll be an upper arm right there in front of that. I'll draw that in a minute.
Jackie PL02 says, try it. If you have any suggestions, there is tech forum for errors reporting and asking for features or suggestions. Please contribute.
We got. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. All right, let's finish this guy up. I gotta start speeding up a little. I started working way too slow just because of the fatigue. I've been on here for 2 hours now, and I can tell I'm starting to fade a little bit. Need to take a break soon. But just want to try and get this stuff rigged up a little bit more. That's good there. A little bit there. No. That'll work. Let me see here. This. All right. I think I'm almost there. So we got his body put in. Gonna have to draw the upper arm next. I can't remember what color this character's hair is. But we could get the hat. I'll just make his hair brown. It's easy enough to change it if he has blonde hair.
Jackie PL02 says this is your comic or something?
Yeah, it is a comic book that I published a long time ago. And I've been taking every page of the comic and breaking it all up into pieces, expanding each panel so that I can animate it. So, like, so far I did this character here, and like, if I open him up, you can see his shoulders separated. That's separated out. I made a blink for him. His head, like for example, we can it's all separated, so everything that I've separated out can like articulate and everything. So I'll break it all up like this, import it into Moho, and then rig the characters, and then turn it into a motion comic. So that's what I've been doing. I've finished almost 3 episodes, and that's my goal, is to finish 3 cartoons this year. And this is the third one that I'm working on now of the 3. And then I'm going to put them out on DVD.
Jackie PL02 says you are perfect beta tester for Animate Studio.
Yeah, for sure. I can beta test it because I'm doing that kind of stuff. What you're building for, I'm doing the kind of stuff what you're building for. I gotta do
Jackie
some rendering on this.
PL02 says please publish it in my website. I need to check if I already done possibility to upload video files.
Sure, I'll see what I can do. I can put some videos up in there, and then you can see if they work. You want me to publish some cartoons and stuff, or some animations?
Jackie PL02 says, I can only give possibility to import Moho files.
Okay, so you import the Moho files, and then you can work in your
Jackie
software from there.
PL02 says need to verify this.
Okay, I understand.
Jackie PL02 says for now.
That's probably good enough for the hat. Maybe I'll do a little bit of airbrush over the top of all this just to integrate it in better. Okay, that's good enough. Now, let's see, we need to make the hair. Hmm. Spray remover? Like a T-square? Or is it a triangle square? Right angle? Um, I can go find one for you. Okay. The reality is, if there's all that black shadows right there, it would actually be cast up here too. Like, I mean, and you'd have it on his face. You'd have it in more places, but whatever. I'll just do it like that. All right, so it looks like we've got. I'm gonna merge all this up. It's got his body in there. Let's see what is going on there. So that's fine. Okay, that we weird. But these arms should stay locked together. So I'm gonna merge. Well, I want to be able to pivot them though there maybe. Because you could go, let me see here. Wait. Yeah, maybe I'll redraw his hand underneath there. I mean, it's not going to move that much. It would just shake like that, but I don't know. I don't know if we want that. Now, this is all weird. The freaking hell is this? Okay, so let's fix this stuff here. What the heck? Okay, well, just draw over the top of this. So this would be his bicep. Whoa. The black color. This would be his bicep coming in here. Triceps comes around. And all he needs is just that. Like, there. And then this would be his
Jackie
shirt.
PL02 says, do your thing. I'm gonna go back to my work. Register on Moonlight. I'll contact you there.
Okay, sounds good, Jackie. You have a good day. I'll go register up later, and I'll talk to you later. Let's fix all this nonsense. Really, he just needs like a stub here.
Jackie PL02 says see ya.
All right, that's almost done. All right, I think I took care of that problem. So now let's see here. I got to fix this hand. Not this one. This one. This is some kind of whack ass bullshit. What the fuck? All right. Good thing I know what's going on here. I'm just going to turn that down a little bit so it doesn't interfere. This, I believe, is supposed to be the lower fingers. Or is that supposed to be the pads? No, I can see it clearly as day now. What a mess. Well, that's better. Since like got some semblance of what a hand is, now I got to go in and fix it up more. Well, you're not going to see it, so it doesn't really matter that much. But just wanted it to be a little more cohesive. What I'll do is use the soft brush. Just kind of blend in here a little bit more. Get this out of here. Good enough. I'll take that. It's a better hand than what was there. And you're not going to see it anyway. All right, so that's done. That front arm of Jed's done. We need to put an arm in right there. Background's going to be recreated. That guy's going to be fixed. But I got to separate his head, put in his blink, make the guy drool, make his mouth move. And I'm going to put the upper arm in right here in front. I'm going to have to do all that stuff tomorrow as pretty much run out of time for today. So saving this. I'm going to end this stream. Thanks everybody who stopped by, chatted, said hi. I'll be back tomorrow with another stream. We'll finish off this page and then be on our way to whatever's next.